Pond. Celine. Or maybe it's Selene, I don't know. But yeah, it's from their new album. I like that one. I mean, I pretty much like the whole album. But that one and Hand Mouth Dancer, Tasmania, The Boys Are Killing Me, those are my 4 favorites. So let's play some Astroneer. For a chill ending to a chill stream. Yeah, the name of the song is Salami. Voices.
Voices.
A singular voice.
These are the Daves. Which again is really weirdly fitting considering 2001 A Space Odyssey. What are you doing, Dave? Whomst would have thought. Welcome to the stream, Mono and Dave. How's it going?
Thank you for having us back. I'm surprised you haven't kicked us off yet.
Like, what, like totally disconnected from you, like banned you, reported you to the police, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, you went off and you have your own base now. You're sustaining your own lifestyle. You know, we're just kind of off on our own. I don't know. Do you really need us?
Good point. Good point.
I like the stream. Shut up.
All right, well,
choices.
It's time for you to go. It turns out you're correct. I do have my own base, and
strong, independent streamer that doesn't need no mods.
Damn right. The chat would be so much more fun if there were no mods.
Oh yeah,
fun
Anarchy.
Is the right. Yeah, fun's the right word. Anyway, it's been about a week and a half since we played this, so I don't know what the hell's going on. But yeah, I did build myself a little base on this shitty planet. And I remember having a lot of fun with it. I felt very proud of my little shitty base on this little shitty planet. And that's all that matters, really. Vinny, did you ever get your exclusive con skin to work? This is it right here. Feels pretty good.
The lag.
Dave Cap, what were you streaming a little while ago? What was that?
How long ago are we talking? I streamed like 3 different things today, but I think you came in during my Forager stream.
Yeah, is that a clicker game? An idle game?
No. It's just sort of like a mining game and an exploring, adventuring game. The guy who made it said his influences were like Zelda: Link to the Past and Terraria and something else.
Do you fight?
But yeah, there's fighting. Very minimal, but it's there.
So you definitely do you think it's a good game?
I do. It's addictive for sure. It's got sort of the same vibe going for it that I'd say more Terraria had, where you just kind of want to go around and collect as many things as you can while building up everything else.
Okay, that sounds all right then. Yeah, I was surprised to find out on my Switch that Stardew Valley was in my top 10, I think, most played games. But then I thought about it, like, I only played it for maybe a month, if that. And my Stardew Valley obsession was real. I remember I was hitting like 7 hours at one point. I probably did a couple days I played 7 hours. I know some people will be like, get on my level, scrub, but for me, that's a lot. That's a crazy amount of playing a video game on top of streaming, which I then would do after playing Stardew Valley. But I had to just kind of stop playing it because it was taking over my life, and also I was losing sight of my goals, and I just stopped caring.
Such is the life of a farmer, I guess.
Except you don't get the rewarding, you know, feeling of feeding your community in a video game.
Feed your addictions instead.
Yeah. It's true enough.
Okay, so I'm restarting Astroneer. Some reason it kept saying cannot connect to host, so I'll try again.
Are you in, other Dave?
Yes, I am in.
Wait, which one's Dave 1 and 2? I don't even know anymore. I think I lost sight of which Dave is.
Just stick to
Give
David
it-
Mono.
Yeah,
Dave and Mono
if
works.
you want to rank us by Daves, you're gonna have to come up with a numbering system. Otherwise, you could
Dave
just
and
be
Mono.
Dave and Mono.
Dave and Mono. It's like Dave and Buster's.
Is that an East Coast thing?
You never do the Dave Papa?
Yeah,
You've never done Dave and Buster's? You don't have one?
no, never heard of it.
It's like shitty Applebee's food, but there's a bar and you can drink and you play arcade games, you play video games, so you like buy tokens that you can, you know, play the games. There's some like shitty carny games too, but you win points and then you know, you spend $100 and you earn enough to buy those gross jelly beans that I was eating on stream a while back. And that's about it.
Except the jelly beans that's just the way they taste. They're not like specially designed to be that way. They're just
Exactly.
really shitty jelly beans.
That's exactly right. They are just shitty jelly beans that have been sitting there for years. But it's cool. Dave & Buster's, I enjoy it. It's like a good place to, picture Chuck E. Cheese. Never mind. Don't picture. I don't want you to think about Chuck E. Cheese, but it's, yeah, it's arcade video game stuff, and yeah, it's fun. It's good to go out and grab a, you know, grab a drink and do that. But the food, again, I was not impressed with the food at all. It's exactly what you'd expect. It's just, you know, it's better than Applebee's. It's better than Applebee's, at least.
It's a Chuck E. Cheese for adults. Someone in chat said.
I was gonna say that, but then I you know, I was like, eh.
Want to get that Chuck E. Cheese sponsorship?
Dear Vinny, we watched you show Climax on your stream during your Smash Brothers stream, and we really enjoyed you getting near that hydraulic dong, which is why we here at Chuck E. Cheese would like to sponsor you further.
We're going to make an animatronic of Red Vox and have them play on a stage.
Except instead of me, they build V-Dub instead. Oh, sorry, we thought that was you. Like, we couldn't look more different, please.
Yeah, what would an animatronic Vinesauce experience be like at a Chuck E. Cheese?
Like a video games, like, shit. Maybe like a screen. You see me holding a controller and, like, you know, just screaming at the game. Squeezing the hog. Not, you know, not a little... Like the plastic hog. Some mushrooms. Someone wrote a scary wheeze. So, what, if you guys want to help me out here a little bit, what would be a good thing for me to even do on this planet since I'm here?
Let's see, what were we...
What were we doing?
Technically, yeah, technically the goal, you know, is to get to the core of all the planets.
The what?
So that you can unlock the core.
Thank you.
I have to speak a different language, you're welcome. And so you get the relay stations, or at least one relay, and then get to the core, and then you get the thing to put on the thing, with alien satellite, and then other things happen. So I guess you would look into just searching out those relays, I guess.
Okay.
And then
Could
you
do
start
that.
realizing like what materials you need once you find them.
Alright, probably end up building a buggy first. Yeah, and then I'll do that. But I also would like to... I guess I have to say this out loud. I have to articulate my goals. Otherwise, I won't even know what to do. But I'm going to build a buggy. I'm going to search for materials. I need to get a beacon, I think. And build like a dildo tower again. So I know where I am. Now let's see. A beacon is quartz. Produced by soil centrifuge. Okay, I might need soil centrifuge. That's something that would be very useful. Compound times 2 and aluminium.
Say, Dave, when you were having trouble connecting to Vinny's server, what did you do last time?
I just kept trying.
It keeps
you
kicking
might be
me
an
out.
invisible.
Oh, you can't get in at all?
So you show up and then I try and then it keeps loading and loading and then it says like disconnected.
Is your friends list invisible or offline?
Well, it should be on. I can see both of you. Wonder if I can join off of Steam Friends instead.
Give it a shot.
Let me in!
Good.
Someone said, if you're looking for a replacement Dave, I would gladly challenge their dominance in gladiatorial combat. Are you a Dave as well? I have another Dave friend, actually, who I played a show with several years back, who was trolling the callers, kind of like Kit Boga does, before Kit Boga. So that was another Dave. It's all Daves and Mikes in my life. It's weird.
I remember that Dave.
Uh-huh.
Didn't you show some of his videos on stream?
Yep.
He's like just playing music and he's like, what was that? And then he starts playing music and what was that?
Yeah, yeah. He was pretty good. Him and Kit Boga would have done a good combo. I don't think he really does it a whole lot anymore, though. Then again, who knows? Maybe he does.
So have you thought of a name for your Sunday stream tomorrow, considering it's on Easter?
Oh, man. Easter, huh? Does anyone have any Easter games? I think I streamed all the 8 Easter games in existence, like, over the years. I don't know if I have anything specifically Easter.
It would be a day late, but what about all the weed games?
I don't... There's weed games?
Oh, come on. There's gotta be tons of weed games out there.
Ever play games on weed?
Isn't that a Nintendo system? The weed?
Okay, get out of here.
I'm not even in.
The 910 Bort weed. Where'd my thing go? My canister, where'd it go?
Also, you could call your Sunday stream Corrupt for Christ.
Dude, what?
Because it's Easter, be corrupt for Christ. It's just a way to make it thematic.
Okay, I'll consider it, but I'm gonna need something. I'm gonna need something Christly.
You can corrupt Bible games.
Well, I don't have any corruptions for those, but maybe. Yeah, the thing is, like I said, there's a couple Easter games, and I've streamed them. They're all gone now. I don't have any other themed stuff aside from Tomato Way 2. Which is kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. It's not really Easter themed, but there's tomatoes in it. Sorry, tomatoes. Mr. Frodo, if you're looking for some good tomatoes, boy, have I got a deal for you. Are you joining finally, Mono?
Did you get a big lag surge?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, looks like I'm finally joining, yeah. Oh, but it put me back on the home planet instead of the moon, so I gotta get back to where I was.
And I know they've been updating this game fairly regularly since we started playing it, but, you know, there's still a little bit of anus here and there.
My computer's also very slow, so like streaming and playing this at the same time is proving to be pretty slow. It's weird, I'm jumping all over the place.
Well, welcome back to the home planet.
Wait, you're there too?
Yeah, the last stream had me, like, basically lose my character, so it respawned me at the starting planet. And I basically couldn't launch into space without losing my ship. So this time around, let's see if I can make it. What planet are you on again? I need to remember.
I don't even know. Also,
Okay.
apparently you can go very, very high up in this game. Like, if you build, you can almost get to, like, the edge of space.
There was someone that just made a ramp that went into space.
Yeah.
Just keep building and building.
Yeah, it's crazy what you can do. You can get really fucking high up if you so choose.
Guys, was it Novus? Is that where Vinny went? Let's see if chat knows.
Chat, you realize this is going to kill me, right? Alright, well. Nothing risked, nothing gained. How convenient, all my shit is still here.
Huh, I can't figure out what it is that's lagging me so bad. CPU usage is only 60%, memory's only 50%. Astroneer is barely using any of it. So why am I getting, like, stupid low frame rates? It's weird.
Excuse me.
That's how I feel.
Did you put down a beacon, Vinny?
Yeah, I put down the beacon, yes.
Okay, I think I'm coming around.
It's red.
Can you move your ship? Or did you already move it? Because it was
I
like
moved
in a
it
hole.
very far.
Oh, I can't land. Yeah, my ship is stuck in space again.
Wow, this game really, really hit like a level of quality, didn't it?
Well, it didn't patch since the last time we played, so I'm gonna assume this is just a known issue that we have to wait for the next patch to deal
Yeah.
with. Whatever. I mean, I can keep practicing saying Aragorn jumped over the hill.
Irgun jumped over the hill.
Aragorn jumped over the hill.
Okay, Dave, listen. Some things should not be attempted. You know, the crazy thing is I'm still watching the bonus features. Like I you know, I get through them a little bit, and like each movie has like 3 or 4 hours worth of bonus shit, and oh god, what am I? I'm up to the last disc of Return of the King, and I'm up to the part where it's almost like a movie in and of itself, where Viggo, who plays Aragorn, purchased his horse that he used in the movie, and then he bought a horse for one of the stunt women who couldn't afford the horse, and someone else was going to outbid her because he's just that nice of a guy. Someone said buy a Blu-ray. Huh? It is the Blu-ray. but the bonus features are on DVDs. Did you watch the most recent Orville? I did. It's okay. The whole, like, plot, you know, with Kelly going back 7 years. It's gonna be like a Tom Riker situation. Something weird's gonna happen at the end of that episode. I can already, like, they're sowing the seeds for something strange. But yeah, it's good. I haven't watched Star Trek Discovery because I don't think it works anymore. No, not that the show doesn't work, which it kind of doesn't, but the way I was watching it. So if I'm gonna watch that, I have to figure out a different thing. Have you been watching it? Did you finish the season, Dave?
I did, yes.
So without spoiling, was it any good? The 2 episodes there?
It's well, first of all, I'd say it's a
I
good
don't like
thing
that
you
reaction.
I would say watching the last 2 episodes in a row would make it work way better than it did watching them week to week, because it may as well be a 2-part. So they like end the first half, like that 1 week, ramping you up into this like action sequence, and they just completely cut it off before anything happens. So you're just like, oh, okay. And then the second episode starts with all the action happening, and you're not ready for it because you just waited a whole week.
Right.
So that's kind of broken. So if you can go and watch it, I suggest you do, because there are some good high points. It's got a lot of space battling, and I'm just going to say a little bit of like the Space Odyssey 2001 visualization stuff going on, which is pretty nice. I really liked it.
Okay, so more motion picture Star Trek then.
Yes, actually, a lot of people compare it to the original, the motion picture, just because of that kind of stuff. So
okay. Yeah, it sounds like I'll enjoy some of it. I hope they give Pike his own TV show. I really do.
I mean, they practically end the whole season making you think they're going to make one. So I really hope they do too.
We're going to live in a society where there's 17 different Star Treks on TV at the same time. 4 Star Wars, a Lord of the Rings TV show, 3 Game of Thrones spin-offs. I'm just making all that up, but at the same time, it doesn't seem that far-fetched at this point.
I mean, what I was saying to a friend of mine was, it would be great if CBS was like, oh, okay, now we'll make the Star Trek show everybody actually wants, and we'll have it be the pilot, where it'll be episodic and interesting.
Yeah, that would be cool. But they're still limited by, you know, the cast of... Well, it was what they did with the Enterprise was good. I liked it. Like, I enjoyed, you know... Ethan Peck was fine as Spock. He didn't elevate the material like only Nimoy could, but he was good. I still don't know what they're gonna do with this Picard show. It's just... wacky. We'll see.
Yeah.
Is it just called The Picard Show?
I think, yeah. It's just... no one knows what it's called yet, but... I think Picard is in charge of a wacky band of outlaws that have been, you know, like they're outlaws, and or something weird like that is going on. I'm like, that's the most non-Picard thing you could make a plot around. Like a bunch of like rogues that are like outlaws in the galaxy that have done something terrible. Like I'll turn the show on, then I'll be like, computer, turn off that noise!
I think it was, I was streaming using the, whatever the video card intensive
NVENC.
encoder is called. Yeah, I was using that. So when I try to use that and Astroneer in this server, I think it's just like stuff on top of stuff that just slows it down to where I get like 10 FPS.
Oh.
So I'm going to keep my stream down just so I can actually play. But Dave Cap has an alternative perspective.
I suppose he does.
Perspective full of gnomes.
Question. What's the better vehicle? What's the one that we've been using mostly?
Tractor.
The tractor's good.
That has like a full medium inventory spot on it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can attach one of those other inventory things to it and put a bunch of shit on.
I need aluminum then. Aluminum, a crucial fun. Aluminum. Just in time. God damn it. All hail King Neptune and his water breathers. All hail King Neptune and his mouth breathers.
Just reminds me of Hey Arnold and the mouth breather guy. Hey Arnold actually had some really good music. Now that I go back and listen to it on YouTube, it's like original jazz music. It was all situational and it was amazing.
Yeah, it did actually, now that I think about it. Hey Arnold was actually a really fucking quality show. I was a little hesitant at first because it was like, what's this new show? What's this Arnold show? It's not wacky like Ren and Stimpy. And then I watched, like, because I liked Rocco pretty much right away. Because it was just so fucking weird and out baby. And then Hey Arnold comes on, it's just about some kid in the Bronx or Queens or whatever. And I was like, hey, wait a minute, I live kind of near there. I don't want to watch a show about that. I want to watch a show about wacky, stupid assholes. And then it ended up being a really fucking good show regardless.
I always thought one of the saddest episodes was the shark one, or whatever, the giant fish. There's a big fishing tournament. Everyone's like, oh, if you catch this gigantic mythological like cryptid fish, that you'll get some gigantic prize. And everyone has these like over-the-top boats and all this special gear. And I guess I'll mildly spoil some of it since it's an old show, but the saddest part is like Arnold is out there and then he catches the fish with no extra gear or anything. It's in a sad little boat. And then he has like this personal moment, just like looking at the fish like, you know, it's better that you just stay a mystery. You know, why would I want to end your life and ruin the fun that all these people have? So he just like secretly lets the fish go and no one ever sees it again. I was like, damn.
Wow.
As a kid.
I don't even remember that, but Jesus.
And it has really good original music that was like just for that episode. There's even like a song, someone did some like remix, like a extended version of like the shark characters theme and all that, and kind of a jazzy style, and it's like ultra chill.
I like shows that didn't insult my intelligence as a kid. Not that I was a smart kid in particular, but it's nice when a TV show kind of, you know, lets you figure things out, lets you, you know, think a little bit, lets you grow a little bit as a viewer, instead of just, you know, like Spider-Man Elsa, which is now the most popular form of entertainment for kids. But, yeah. No, I missed that show. I mean, like I said, when I re-watched Ren and Stimpy, I was surprised at how much of it held up the first couple seasons. I considered re-watching some of Hey Arnold. Like, I remember one time I found a playlist of Legends of the Hidden Temple on YouTube. And I was like, let me see if this show was actually as good as I remember it. It's not. But it's alright. It's still fun. Yeah. I mean, it's not as cool as it looked. But it's still something that, you know, when I was a kid, I was like, oh man, I want to be on that show. I want to run through the temple. And now you see it and it's just like, ooh. It's like a little weird, bunch of guys touching you, bunch of styrofoam. It's like almost a vomit in the ball pit situation.
I think there was a ball pit, now I think about it. It had like golden balls.
Yeah, there's like a foam pit.
And when I watched Legends of Hidden Temple again, I realized just how bad the kids were at the stuff. I mean,
they were
on
terrible.
TV and yeah, and I'm sure it's a thing where it's like, you know, if you're there, it's a little different. But like, damn, like they just couldn't follow the most basic rules. Like, and their friend is watching from a distance. It's like, just push the button, just push the button. They're like shouting. Like
Kirk Fogg's like, all right, you got the monkey. All right, no, head goes at the top. No. Head goes at the top. Come on, just turn it. Turn. Oh, you ran out of time.
It's like, have you ever seen a monkey at any point in your life? Is there a head at the bottom? No.
No trip to Cabo San Lucas for you and your family. And then the dad, you know, son, I want you to know, while I'm not going to totally disown you, this family really could have used that vacation. So now we're just going to have a life of distance. Me and your mother are going to grow farther apart. I mean, that vacation would have saved our marriage, son. But you couldn't build a monkey. You couldn't build the damn monkey. No, Dad, no! I'll go back on! And, you know, wow, that got dark. Sorry about that. Jesus. What the fuck is my mind at? I thought this was going to be a chill stream tonight.
My main problem with that show is the same problem I had with Nick Arcade, which was the only reason I ever wanted to go on was just to show everybody how it's fucking done. Come on. Learn the game, play the game, beat the game. Come on. I wasn't competitive as a child, but goddamn, I wanted to beat Nick Arcade.
They were terrible at Nick Arcade. Yeah,
What was
Nick...
a really old one that was like Starcade? I think it was like the first one on TV that with video games and stuff. I can't remember the name.
I think that's what it was. I never actually watched it, but I've heard of it.
I didn't see that one. I did not know about that one.
They actually did like a Twitch marathon of it recently where you could just watch like every episode in a row. And I still remember where they had pairings that seemed really unfair. You know, there's like some nice like middle-aged mom and her daughter who's, I don't know, like 14 or something, and then they're fighting against these like two turbo nerd guys that clearly play video games all day, and the host is like, oh, you know, keep it up, blah, blah, and they're just getting absolutely annihilated by these two turbo nerds.
Turbo nerds. No, you got this. Trust me, you got this. No, maybe you don't got this. Never mind. I feel like the whole thing about Nick Arcade, for those that don't know, it was a show where you played video games and you would win prizes, and then you would go in the game on a green screen, which seemed really fucking cool, except it's just a bunch of kids running up and down shit, and the hit detection was terrible. Like, I don't even know if... Like, I wonder if it was just some dude manually inputting the commands, you know, on, like, oh, hey, this kid touched a coin, we gotta click on the coin. Alright, coin has been grabbed. Alright, next. And it was just really, really painful. But I thought it was the coolest thing ever, because it looked like you were in the video game. And then I remember the Liberty Science Center in Jersey had a green screen thing like that, and I did it. Like, not for very long, and it wasn't the same level as Nick Arcade, but I did it. I was like, why is everything green? This sucks. And it wasn't good. It wasn't, you know, it looked cooler, but it wasn't.
Remember... Oh, I was gonna say, like, remember back in the day when green screens were blue, and it was all about the blue screens, and then suddenly it turned green?
I think bright green is a slightly less common color than blue, which gets a little messy. But people still use blue screens, depending on, you know, the colors that they need. They still use both in the industry. I don't know how to, aluminum, guys. I have, ammonium.
Laterite.
What is it?
Laterite?
That's underground, right?
Yeah, that's where you usually find it. It's usually pretty easy to find. It's like the first layer underground.
Alright.
I found the unfortunate side effect of green screens is that sometimes when I do VR streams and I have the green screen, I can't wear Vinesauce shirts because it's just like green.
Oh, yeah.
My torso disappeared.
Yeah. Blue screen.
I ain't got the money for that.
Blue is a much more expensive color.
Is that the name of a song?
Oh fuck! Oh, on the underground entrance. Where are we going, Gandalf? I mean, Treebeard? What? Oh, no. What was I gonna say? Oh, my blue screen / green screen, it's both. So it flips, it's reversible.
Oh, you have like that collapsible one?
It's the collapsible one, yeah.
Well, I have an entire room. The 1-bedroom of my 1-bedroom apartment is a VR room, and it's just covered in green. So I'd have to get like a gigantic blue quilt or something to just throw all over the room.
I mean, it could be done. It's not that, you know... Not impossible, it's just... It's annoying. What's this thing up here? Oh, here it is. No, wait, this is hematite. God damn it.
Yeah, it should be like a red and blue kind of gradient.
Yeah,
looking.
I know what it is. It's just... Fucking... Hematite is for iron, which is good, but... Not what I need right this second. Nematode, Doug! We were talking about shows, Doug. I like Doug.
Kulu-coo-coo.
Oh my god. I didn't remember that, but...
It's the nematode call.
Yeah, I guess you're right, Jesus.
There's this one character.
Whoa. Go ahead, Dave.
There's this one character on that show. I can't remember his name. I think it was like a scientist neighbor. He always cracked me up.
Oh, I think his name is Rick. Doug! Doug, you gotta come with me, Doug! I don't think he was even a scientist. What the fuck? Like, this new lore has been invented for Mr. Dink. But yeah, the nematode, that was always fun. There's some versions of Killer Tofu that have been, you know, recorded. That are, pretty entertaining.
Oh yeah,
So-
there's like extended versions of all of the Beats songs, like played live, and they sound really incredible.
Yeah, they're actually good songs. They're not just jape songs. But yeah, talking about shows that didn't insult intelligence when you were a kid. Like, immediately my mind goes to The Adventures of Pete and Pete, which is I've talked about on stream plenty, but I really like that show. Just weird, abstract shit. It's like more a show about ideas than it was about like silliness.
Yeah, wasn't there a lot of like really famous people that just casually showed up on that show and then weren't on anymore?
Yeah, Iggy Pop was a regular. Actually, he wanted to be a regular. Iggy Pop was just like, yeah, I'll do as much as you want me to do. And yeah, Michael Stipe. So a lot of rock stars. What's I can't believe I always forget her name from the B-52s. She was on there. I talk about her a lot too, and I just forget her name. But yeah, it was a good show. I forget what else I was watching at the time, but like Double Dare, you know. There was Guts was obviously. Iggy Pop is celebrating a birthday today? Oh shit.
Did you ever learn about what the Nickelodeon slime is made of?
Wasn't it like oats? It was Kate Pearson. Yeah, that's her name.
It was like oatmeal and applesauce and some other food products. So it actually sounds kind of delicious.
So here's something nobody asked about, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. In The Lord of the Rings,
Okay.
yes, in Fellowship of the Ring, when they're crossing the mountain, the Misty Mountain, Caladros? What is it? Calibor? Snowy Calibor, I think. Mountain. Caradhras. Caradhras, thank you. When they're crossing that, when the scene where Saruman is using his voice to create snow, and they're stuck in like a snowstorm, and they have to leave, and they go to the Mines of Moria instead. That was filmed on a set, like in a studio, and that snow was actually like a salty rice, and it was getting in their eyes, and it was making their eyes red, and it was really gross, and they had it in their clothes, and they had it in their mouth, and it was really like nasty. And so it was like it was like a salty rice type snow, and it was very, very, very hot under the lights. So, you know, it's supposed to be a freezing scene, but if you watch it, it's actually they're really, really hot in those costumes under the lights. And they have like salty fucking, you know, shitty, you know, listen, come on. Someone was thinking it. I'm an adult.
I can always tell when there's fake snow in the movie, because I'm a snow expert.
Well, you are, actually.
Yeah. It's like, it always looks way too, like, sandy. And, you know, snow is a lot more fluffy, and it, like, kind of packs together in general. Yeah, but a lot of, like, portrayals in film, it just kind of looks like sand. So, yeah.
You hate sand?
Yeah, it doesn't get in very many places for me, so it's alright.
It's not bad, okay. At least you know the memes. All that matters.
Blow the dust off of them occasionally when I'm on here.
That's what I'm here for, man.
So earlier you were talking about stock sounds, like you heard the
I was talking
Warcraft
about
3 dwarf,
the gunfire, yeah.
and also and then PP7 and GoldenEye and all that. So stock sounds like that have always really interested me, because it's like they exist in like movies and video games and sometimes music, and they're just absolutely everywhere. And apparently there's like a company that makes most of these, a group that's called Hollywood Edge. So like if you just YouTube search Hollywood Edge stock something or other, they have like this demo disc, which is basically one of the most nostalgic things I've ever listened to, because it's like every cat meowing, children laughing, like every stock song you've ever heard just in one demo. It's like, wow, they pretty much just like defined all of the like low budget stuff of like the 90s.
But even like, you know, you start to hear weird, like, you know, repeats of sounds in different areas. Like, I've heard the GoldenEye rocket sound in several things at this point. I couldn't tell you exactly what. There's like a Zelda sound, like there's like a whoosh sound I've heard a lot.
There's the grunting noises that all the GoldenEye guards make. It's like, ooh,
Yeah.
and all that. That's even in Half-Life 2 has a couple of those. It's like that. Those sounds get everywhere.
Yeah, those sounds definitely like get everywhere like sand.
Yeah, that was a good segue.
I had
from the
to,
last
sorry. Yeah.
year. Yeah.
I was actually recently talking about this kind of stuff on my stream, and the one that always gets me is the Howie. Do you know that one?
The what?
Howie scream, where he goes like, yeah! I can't.
Is
do
it the All Real Monsters scream?
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
pretty sure that's it. Yeah.
That one. I
Half-Life
fucking
2
hear it
uses that
everywhere.
also. The fast zombies use that sound.
Like that one, kind of.
Yeah.
Yes.
It kind of takes you out of it a bit. Just like sometimes, like if you have a really big actor, you know, in a cameo, and you're like, oh shit, that's Tom Cruise. You know, you don't think like, oh, that's the character. I mean, sometimes you do, but like some people are too famous, and they start to like, you know, it just takes you out of the reality of the movie a bit.
Yeah, in the first season of the Fargo show, having Tom Hanks' son actually kind of took me out of it, because it's just like all I could see was Tom Hanks' son and not like an actor, or rather a character.
Yeah, like when I watch a lot of these shows like Black Mirror and Channel Zero, another one that's kind of similar, that I like it when I don't recognize any actors. It's kind of it almost feels more convincing, like when I don't recognize anybody. So then I just start like attributing them to all of their, you know, previous things.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here's another Tom Hanks movie, and he's just looking for gloves all the time. I can't look at it the same.
Yeah. And then there's just some people that are like just, you know, there's an actor in the Orville. Dave, you know who I'm talking about. You definitely do. That had a character building episode last season. This season did not have. Someone just said Seth. I mean, he's not bad. He's fine.
But he's not an actor. He's just Seth's friend.
Who?
I think
John?
we're talking about the same.
Talking about John, the character John, who was on the bridge. Now he's in the engine room.
Yeah.
His delivery is. Oh, I'm sure he's a nice guy, and there's an earnestness to his performance and sometimes he has some funny lines, but he didn't get his own episode this season, and I'll be honest, I understand why. Like, they took a chance with the dude, but it's just so stiff, the delivery, the lines, it's so wooden. So it couldn't, you know, maybe they just felt like this dude is not cutting it, we can't give him an episode. But yeah, that kind of thing takes you out. That's why one thing about TNG that I always really liked were the guest stars. They had some amazing guest stars. I mean, throughout Star Trek's history, here are some of the guest stars. Jason Alexander, who is George Costanza. There's The Rock, who is in Voyager. Which that takes you out a bit, but that episode was... I mean, this is Voyager we're talking about. Marty Frumpkin. No, you didn't have that guy. Lots of other good actors that I can't think of at the moment. Apparently, someone from Fleetwood Mac played a fish. So that was a thing. Terry O'Quinn. Yeah, there you go. Sarah Silverman was apparently in an episode of Voyager. I barely remember that episode. Ralph Bluton. Not really a big Sarah Silverman fan, to be honest, but, you know. You can go your own way. Go your own way. Whoopi. Yeah, Whoopi was... Well, she wasn't just a guest star. She was just on the show a lot. And she was actually good. I think that was probably one of her best roles. Stephen Hawking played himself. He's the only Star Trek character to ever play themselves, I think. I don't think they fixed the tether lag, by the way, because I'm still getting some really chunky frame rates. Chunky.
Sorry, that's my fault again.
The
I went to the center again.
The Rocketeer Billy Campbell was in TNG in The Outrageous Icona as the Dash Rendar alike. Oh, was that the dashing guy with the hair? That was him? That was the fucking Rocketeer? Oh my god. No, I don't think that was you. I think it's just Chunk.
Yeah, because I loaded my own single-player game where I've made a lot of progress all over the place, lots of buildings, and it was running smooth. And then I came into here, and I'm jumping between like 5 and 10 FPS most of the time.
Oof.
kind of amazed that Discord seems uninterrupted, because usually when I'm getting this lag, like I can't even use mic chat or anything.
You speed up every now and then. That's one of the things I noticed about your connection. So every now and then you'll speak, and then you'll just be like, so you'll be like kind of at this pace, and then you'll be at this pace, and then go back to this pace, and it's fine.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's just how I actually talk.
No, some of it's unnatural. Some say the dark side of the Force. You know the rest. Call for Papa Palpatine.
So I have a question.
So I'm going mental tonight. I'm sorry. I don't know what's happening to me.
That makes for a better stream.
For some people, not all.
So I have a question, Star Wars question.
I have an answer.
So I saw the Red Letter Media thing about like no one ever really dies kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I kind of understand that they're trying to say like, okay, it's just weird that Emperor is suddenly back, whatever. And then they're showing the deaths of all these other famous Star Wars characters. So what exactly were they trying to say about that? Besides the Emperor, just making fun of the fact that they like to just randomly bring people back alive?
They're just being... that's... With Mike in particular, you gotta give him a little bit of his, his indulgences. I don't think he's actually saying that every character's gonna come back, or, he's just being an asshole. I think the real thing is, like, now every character can come back because one character came back, so it's just that plus extreme example of, like, all these other characters. So I don't know. I don't think it's if no one's ever really gone, then deaths don't actually matter and there's no impact to them. Exactly. Yeah. It's like pulling a reset button on an episode of a TV show or in a game, and like the character dies and then, oh no, they're back. But one of the problems with some, like, there's some shows that do that where, like, the legacy characters that everyone likes, they come back. I can't think of the one. There's one. There's one I can't think of, but there's an example of this. Goku? Not my immediate reaction, but I was thinking, like, I mean, Star Trek does it a lot too. But Star Trek, you can do some science-y shit. Like, William Shatner wanted Kirk to come back, and one asked, well, how? Your character is dead. He's like, it's Star Trek. They can do whatever they want. And they do. I mean, he's not wrong. They could have easily gotten Kirk back. Would it have been, a good idea? Probably not, but... So yeah, when your characters don't actually die, then... So love or hate Game of Thrones, or understand its significance of why people liked it, and it's not the first show to do this, but I'm gonna say that it was one that did it very effectively, which is there wasn't a reset switch on some of the more principal characters, and that's what blew people's minds. Because, spoiler, Season 1 Game of Thrones, spoiler, 3, 2, 1, Sean Bean, big actor, played Boromir, played fucking Alec Trevelyan from GoldenEye and a lot of other movies. They got this big actor. He's in all the advertising, and they're building up this season, this really tightly written season. They're building up these characters. They're building up Ned Stark. If you read the book, Ned Stark has so much time. There is so much time devoted to building this dude's character and establishing his history. And then, chop chop. Character's gone. Character's still gone. And that's something that, invests you, I think, more in the show, as opposed to no one's ever really gone. Wow, these frame rates fucking suck. What the fuck happened?
I just loaded a bunch of new stuff. Sorry.
What do you mean you loaded a bunch of new stuff?
I went down the slide. So I'm loading all the... Yeah.
It's just amazing how I get hit with that shit, too.
Yeah. definitely not good.
Yeah, it seems consistently bad though. Like I'm not just getting it in bursts. So I wonder, is there just a lot of tethers? I mean, I guess they said they solve the tether thing, or I don't know.
I think it's they're making progress. It's not like they. I think the progress has definitely been made, but they need some more. I mean, it's not like just flip a switch forehead and then the game doesn't lag. I give the developers credit. This game is ambitious, and I mean, Subnautica had to get rid of the terrain deformation for similar reasons. Now this is multiplayer, so they're doing God's work by even having this playable. It's just a shame it's so crusty, because, you know, it is a great game and I want to play it in zero crust mode. How do you make... you can't make copper, right? Oh wait, yes you can. Wait.
I don't think you can use a cheat machine to do it, but you can find it.
Can't use the soil centrifuge?
No, I think that's just for like basic compound resin, clay.
Trying to build my vehicle for an expedition. It's also kind of weird now that I think about it. I'm in this... You know, I'm in this thing with you guys. We're talking. We haven't seen each other once this entire stream.
I saw Dave for a few seconds.
I took off in a rocket that blew up in space.
Too real.
Vinny, quick question. I've got a succulent I've grown and a Vinesauce artistic pot. Can I send it to you? I know this is chat. I just don't know how else to contact you. Would you make sure it keeps growing? But what do you mean succulent?
They just wanted to type suck in chat.
I would get that. That plant would be killed in 3 days. I am not responsible enough for such things.
Yeah, they're like
It's a cactus.
cactus-like things. Like I think aloe vera is a succulent. I think.
I'm sorry, yeah, no, I can't. You only water it once a week? Well, I mean, you'd have to ship it to my P.O. box. That would be kind of weird. Well, I mean, that's a nice offer, thank you. Do not send me life, to my P.O. box. That would be a general good rule of thumb. Also, do not send me something that means I have to do more things in my life. That's also really good. Yeah, otherwise, you know, whatever.
I remember, speaking of that, this was, I don't know, like 6 or 7 years ago. I was at some party family thing where someone had their like newborn child, and it just like, we're so excited. Everyone's like, oh, look at the baby, blah, blah. And just handed the baby to me, and I'm just like, what do I do with this? Like, I just set it down on the couch, or how do I do this? So I don't know how to handle baby.
Well, I guess we get along for that reason. Amongst other reasons, but yeah, I have a similar issue with Babs. I don't get it. Vinny, I'll send you a picture then. Yes, you can send me a picture of the succulent.
I feel like that could start getting weird, or people are just like sending you photos of things, like physical photos in the mail, and they just progressively start getting creepier. You're like, please stop.
Yeah. Oh, it could get weird. It's already gotten a little weird. Luckily not too weird, but, you know, fucking weird enough.
Someone in chat says, what if they send you a dead plant? It wouldn't be alive, but they could still send you the plant.
Could.
Do not send life or former life.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good rule.
What if they send you a box of 500 Laffy Taffies? Or no, Airheads.
Or bees.
They're one and the same.
You can buy them. No, you can actually, like, on Amazon, you can buy a bunch of bees. But anyway, yeah, Laffy Taffy. It's like, I did get Airheads. I got, like... Oh, I think I bought those for myself. It was like a deal on Amazon or something, and I ended up buying, like, 75 Airheads or something. And after, like, 3 or 4, I was like, what the fuck am I doing? And I just started giving them out to whoever wanted them. No one wanted them.
For some reason, I really like that story, because I think you even said that you got to the point where you're just sneaking them into other people's homes.
Yeah.
I just imagine someone waking up and like, why is there food in my cabinet? Where did this come from?
The Airhead fairy visited.
Yeah. That was me. It's the gift of Airhead.
It's funny, like, if people discover that it's you that's been doing this, but no one wants to, like, acknowledge that they know it's you, so you show up and everyone's just staring at you like, okay, well, when is this gonna happen? When is he gonna sneak it into the sock drawer?
Yeah, one day I'll have to do that again. It's like the Oreos. Someone sent me, like, graham cracker. I forget what they were, but it was just a bunch of Oreos. I had, like, 10 packs of them. It was like, you know, it was crazy. It's fucking crazy. It was too much. And I just kept them in the trunk of my car, and I was just giving them out to people. But again, not many people want sweets. People are on diets, or, you know, people just don't like sweets, and... You know, I'm not gonna fucking force them. Yeah, they were the Depression Oreos. Good memory.
So I have something totally unrelated. So I've been really interested in IRL streaming, like doing it, and also just what people do on Twitch. And the further down in the like travel and outdoors category you go, like the weirder and creepier it gets. Like the people that have 0 viewers, but they're still doing stuff out in real life. It's like good for them, you know, for like thinking that like, hey, I'm gonna, you know, get an audience. That's awesome. But some of the stuff, there's just like people sleeping, and they're just streaming their face all night. And then
Isn't
like
that not allowed?
I'm sure it's against TOS, but they probably just have a small enough follower base that they just don't care.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
And then they have it where it's like, oh, if you donate money, it makes like an air horn sound in my ear, and I wake up. And then, you know, so that's kind of creative. But then there's streams where it's like someone just doesn't really understand the concept of a stream, but they just wanted to have a stream because, you know, like everyone's doing it. So it's like a guy in a room just wearing like tank top and boxers, and he's like way in the distance, and he's playing like Fortnite on his TV. You can't even see the TV. Like the white balance is so off. It's just a glowing light. And his phone is just like set up on like the kitchen counter, looking at him in the distance playing Fortnite. And it's like, he's not reading chat. It's just a dude playing Fortnite by himself. And that's the stream.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, the format of a stream could be anything if you think about it, but like, what is an audience willing to tolerate? Like, it might be fun to watch a dude like that for 5 minutes and just be like, oh, that's a thing that's happening. That's kind of weird. But then what? Maybe there's like, someone said watch me poop, but the worst part is I could see that. Like, I could see someone like doing like plop cam, where it just like, or you just like get a microphone and you just listen to the plops. It's gonna happen one day. If it's not Twitch, there's gonna be a more depraved streaming service for just such things.
You're kind of making me think about like having David Attenborough narrate a documentary about
Oh.
these in real life streamers.
Well, this one has a plop cam. Very strange. Quick question, real quick. Zinc? How do I zinc?
Like spherite? Is that right?
Let's
Dave?
see if the centrifuge can do it.
I don't think centrifuge can, but it's like the big purple spherical crystal, I think.
Yeah, it looks like a broken sphere.
Okay, then I can't do that. That may not even be on this planet.
I really don't like the word sphere. There's just too much happening at the beginning. You like think really hard before you pronounce it.
Just gotta try not to spit when you say it.
It's like sphere.
I don't have a problem with the word personally, but I mean, you know, you do you.
I think a lot about words, and how weird they are.
I like the word gourd. I like to say it.
Get your gourd, or whatever
So
the phrase is.
Sekiro in particular obviously is very good for that kind of thing.
I always feel like, you know, there's a lot of Japanese experts in chat, and it's always like so difficult to figure out how to properly pronounce Japanese words. And then usually when you finally figure it out, like it turns out you just have to sound like a really disgruntled, like middle-aged man when you pronounce the word to say it correctly. It's like Sekiro.
Sekiro!
I can just imagine like a kid doing a report in like 5th grade about ancient Japan. It's like, today I'm going to talk about the shinobi and how they utilized ninjutsu.
Ninjutsu. Yeah, that's one thing I really enjoy about, like, you know, watching, like, that dopey Japanese game show I watch from time to time. I like when the Gaki no Tsukai, when the narrator, you know, when, like, the dude who, like, narrates the whole thing. It's like, it sounds like he's narrating a samurai movie. Even though it's, you know, it's just Gaki no Tsukai. It's just a dumb game show where if they laugh, they get beat on the butt.
Is that the show where they have people on like a conveyor belt and they have to do certain poses to get through the big board or they get knocked off?
I don't think it was that show, no.
Yeah, I've seen almost every one of those. I love them so much.
I mean, similar
Also-
concept.
So my frame rate just got way better. Like, what happened?
I drove away from my base, I guess.
Well, I'm next to Dave now. Maybe that's why we're on the same planet or something? Huh.
It's really
I
annoying
mean-
when you're trying to build a base and you just need, you know, I want a work light, you know, because you can't see. And you're like, oh, I'll just build a work light real quick. That's easy. Nope, it's on another planet. Fuck you.
Yeah, there's just basic things I have to go jump through hoops to make.
It's annoying. I mean, again, I like the game a lot, but it's got some things about it that I don't particularly care for. Like, again, you know, is there a teleport feature?
Yeah,
Like from planet to planet?
It's the those things that you activate, and you also go to the center of the planet.
Right.
Those big purple things are the teleporters, but there's no.
You
as
can't
far as I
build
know,
a
there's no-
device.
Not that I know of. I mean, if this shit wasn't breaking in the past 2 streams, I would have had like rockets and rocket fuel all over the place, so that it wouldn't be as big of a deal to just go from planet to planet. Because that's kind of what I was trying to build up for, was just easy traversal around so we can get whatever we need. But I've now lost 3 rockets in space, so I'm gonna say wait for the next patch.
Yeah, probably.
So does
Again,
your
at
game
least they're
just-
updating the game fairly frequently.
Yeah. Does your game just crash when it, like, what happens when the rocket no longer
Ye-
works?
Yeah, so there's a very specific state it gets into, and that's how I knew once I was up in space tonight, like that it was broken. Which is that you see how some buildings, like the beacon over me, I have this beacon over my head. The spaceship that is next to us, that's a beacon over it. It does this weird thing where that beacon grows to like 20 times its size, and then you can't control the rocket anymore. Like you have the button prompts to launch or to land, but they just don't do anything. So you literally can't do anything but quit the game. So you quit the game, you come back, it kills off your old character, and you have to start a new character, and you go back to the starting planet. That's what
Like,
it is.
so
Amazing.
the beacon icon gets so big that you can't click anything behind it? Is that what's happening?
No, it's the symptom that you see. It's the visual symptom of the bug. So there's this massive white column just coming off of the ship, and this massive beacon on the end of it, and nothing works. So like as soon as I saw that happen tonight, I was just like, God damn it, I just lost my ship. And then I started buttons, and yeah, sure enough, it was.
Can you submit like a ticket?
Yeah, I think I did last time. But they are probably just trying really hard to fix some bugs right now, and weren't able to get a release out before tonight.
Well, if anything, too, we could always come back to this eventually. We could take like a couple-week break, wait for a big update, and then, you know, we could come back to it. But I mean, it's worth playing. I like playing it. I enjoy all the little things that you can do in it. But yeah, it's really frustrating. I can imagine it's much more frustrating when you lose that much progress. Round
Just
macaroni. Yeah.
Speaking of macaroni, I've come to realize that like the shape of the noodle makes a really big difference in food that you eat. Like it sounds like such a trivial thing, like oh whatever, a noodle's a noodle. But like I bought Jay Leno's favorite bow tie shaped noodles, and they just, you like bow ties? Okay, but just to make sure you okay. But this isn't a joke, I swear. It's so I bought those because there was no more of the like rotini or whatever, the spiral shaped ones, and I just like I can't eat my usual spaghetti vegetable thing, or not spaghetti, whatever, the thing I'd make, because the shape tastes so different. I don't know. I've just noticed that.
Yeah, no, I mean there are people that will champion different shapes of macaroni. I like bow ties. I actually think the bow tie pasta is really good. I like tubes, things with tube, because the sauce gets inside them.
Yes.
I mean, it just depends, really. Now I want macaroni. Maybe I'll cook tomorrow. Yeah, penne. Penne's good. Like, Blueprint taught me how to make a very simple but delicious marinara sauce. And, I mean, it all really depends on the tomatoes you use, too. Like, cento is really good. And, like, you could do a meat sauce. I know you don't eat meat, but, like, for me, that was Sunday dinner for years. But the sauce would take hours and hours and hours to cook. Meanwhile, I think you could just make a marinara sauce for, I don't know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and it really is just as good. The other thing is, with Blue Apron, one of the weirder, not really weird, but like there is an, I know we talked about olives fairly recently. I like olives for the most part. Not all olives, but there is one pasta recipe that had olives. And I was like, wait, olives? What the fuck? It sounded kind of gross, but they're like green Italian olives. And the idea being that you cut them up, and then you fry them with, not fried, but you add them to the sauce. And they were really good. So it's like, you know, garlic and olives and just another little ingredient to add to the sauce to give it like a little extra bit of flavor. And it was surprisingly good.
Yeah, I can't even swallow olives. Like, if I taste it in a pizza, it's just like, oh god, I like pull it out like it's, you know, a hair or something.
Wow.
I don't know, it's weird. It's like I kind of wanted to like them growing up because my dad used to eat them all the time, and I've tried recently, I just can't do it. I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah. I mean, it's an acquired taste, sure. Not everyone likes everything that everyone else likes.
I came to enjoy olives because of a wine and food pairing course I took in college. And
Fancy.
now, yeah, it was really actually barely fancy, but they had me try a bunch of food that I'd never eaten before, and I came to like olives and tomatoes and dolmas.
Still don't like tomatoes. I don't know what a dolma is. Let me, real quick. Tomato, thin, on a sandwich, really thin. I like sauce. I just don't like raw tomato, unless it's like a salsa or it's like chopped up in a taco or something. But what's a dolma?
It's a Greek spinach wrapped food. I can't remember what's inside it actually, but I just know it's a Greek thing.
It's like an olive leaf.
It kind of looks like it looks like a green turd, to be honest.
Okay then. That sounds appetizing.
Yeah.
A grape
Stuff
leaf,
is...
not an olive leaf, a grape leaf. Yeah, they do that. There's a number of Greek diners around here, and they do that. They do the grape leaves with stuff inside. Who knows what the stuff is?
Tomato, pepper, onion, zucchini, eggplant, and garlic. But the thing that makes it so good is just the whole fucking thing is covered in vinegar, and I love vinegar. So it's just
I
this
do too, actually.
thing of vinegar.
I do too. Oil and vinegar is my favorite salad dressing.
Yeah,
Balsamic, and I'm not crazy about balsamic. I think it's a little overrated. It is good on certain things, but vinegar is great to cook with. It's good as a dressing. Yeah, it's fantastic.
The only thing I like that is involved, that has vinegar somewhere involved in it, is pickles. I mean, they might use some special vinegar-like thing, but like people are just always, you know, pickling things and just putting vinegar on all kinds of stuff, and it's like, please stop. I just don't like it. Like, I remember, this is probably a very specific situation, but there's like a friend of mine, I was at their family event, and their like grandmother made some like traditional pickled something, like zucchinis or something like that. I don't know what it was. And I was having some bad allergies at the time, like because of summer allergies, and I was inhaling a lot. And then I inhaled after I ate this, and I like snorted the vinegar into my nose from my mouth. You know, like if you inhale through your nose too hard, it like comes out. So I just got this intense stinging vinegar in my nose, and it was like making me sneeze constantly. And this is, you know, me trying to make a good impression in front of, like, you know, like, oh, it's our grandmother's traditional meal. Oh, it's delicious. I'm like, oh god, I like literally couldn't breathe. I like walk out of the room.
What the fuck, dude? You had some, it sounds like you got some food prejudice based on some experience. I do too, though. That's why I don't eat fish. I mean, I had, you know, the bad experiences.
Yeah, I'm here to make sure that food talk makes people like not want to eat. People try like, oh god, I'm so hungry, and then I'm I snorted vinegar, and it was painful. And people are like, I'm no longer hungry. Like, you're
exactly.
welcome.
Yeah, it's too late for food chat unless you're talking about disgusting food stories, in which case that's fine. But it's weird. I ate a big lunch today. I had hibachi chicken with mango salad, with like a really good like Thai dressing. It's this place that does like a fusion of different Asian foods. It's pretty good. And you know, chicken fried rice and 3 small spring rolls, and I ate like most of that. And then dinner I had 1 taco, and that was enough for me. I was like, you know what? I'm just not I had such a huge lunch, it was too much. Someone said, oh right, people in New York don't cook. Well, again, and there's a kappa, but, I mean, the Staten Island thing is, yeah, I mean, this is as suburban as you can get. People here mostly cook, actually, but, you know, when you do the city, it's a lot harder because you have a lot less space.
I've also come to realize that, you know, if I don't like a lot of foods that people do like, that I also like things that people seem to not like, and I swear I'm not intentionally trying to. Like, example is black licorice. I really love black licorice, but I'm like the only one in my family. Like, they give me all the black jelly beans and all of that. It's like no one likes it, but for some reason I just really like it. And I even had black licorice ice cream once, and it was like one of the best things I ever had.
Nah.
Yeah, you're a special case on that one.
I rest my case.
Yeah. Point proven, I guess, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not into it. But that's, again, like, that's just how it do. I like Brussels sprouts. I talk about them a lot. People in chat make the gross throw-up face. But
I like them too, actually.
Yeah,
I
I think
love
they're
them.
fantastic.
Thank you, Red Bid, for that one.
I always think like Brussels sprouts are like one of those foods that are like, you know, in 90s cartoons, they're like, oh, my mom's making me eat Brussels sprouts.
Yep, that's what I thought of them.
Terrible food. Yeah.
I mean, it was an acquired taste years later. We're not, you know, I wasn't eating vegetables happily early on by any means. I hated a lot of vegetables. Later on in life, I started really enjoying them, but it kind of took me to cook my own vegetables to find out, you know, how they're actually good. But anyway, someone mentioned salt and vinegar potato chips. That's my favorite potato chip at the moment. And whenever I do like a Jersey Mike's, I usually get, you know, I get a sandwich and always salt and vinegar potato chips. Or crisps, if you're from the Queensland. Oots. Yeah, Oots is a bad name for a food. Like, I know that's their brand, like Utz potato chip or whatever, but I always read it as Oots, and it's like the least appetizing brand name.
It sounds like if a German person like makes an error on something like oops.
Oots. It's really...
Drop
Yes.
the chemical oops.
Yes, Mono. Exactly that.
We don't even have that here. I've never even heard of that. That's the brand name?
It's the brand name, yeah, that, it's like, Wise is one, and then Oots is the other. I think the one that they have at Jersey Mike's is Miss Vicky's, which is, again, like, you know, now there's a million brands of potato chips. There's the kettle-cooked ones. There's, you know, all kinds of stupid... Like, oh, it's a natural truffle chip, my dude. It's like, whatever. But... really... what you really want... you want the oots. No, I like the salt and vinegar chips they have there. I guess Miss Vicky's is a good brand, I don't know. I like it. But kettle cooked is fine, I just don't find it enough. Maybe I have to put the effort in. See, now I'm kind of getting hungry. Like, I was a little bit... I guess I was feeling a little bit weird today, and I wasn't that hungry. But now, talking about these chips is making me hungry.
Yeah, we have a local brand of popcorn that's called Boom Chicka Pop. And it's in all caps, like impact font.
Like boom chicka wow wow.
I guess
They're,
so.
they're trying to do that, yeah.
See, I'm now detecting Midwesterners in chat.
Mm-hmm.
They've heard of that brand.
Well, some people are saying it's not local.
Well, they say on the bag, they're like, in our hometown of Minneapolis.
There's a deli that I go to. I mean, you know, I've talked about delis on stream many, many times, but there are several. There are several delis. But, there's one that I go to that does really good sandwiches. And, you know, just really good, like, potato salad, macaroni salad, all that stuff. And they have their own brand of soda. It's the only place you'll ever get the soda. And it's like orange, cherry, raspberry, you know, all the flavors that you'd expect. And it's just their own brand. It's just this deli's particular brand. It's an Italian deli, so it's like, you know, family tradition deli. Like we're talking 80 years it's been open, or 70 years or something like that. I tried it, and this is going to be a disappointing answer, but yeah, I mean, it was fine. It wasn't like, oh, what? They made their own soda. Like, it was probably like the same way I print ducks with the word Vinesauce on them. You can make your own soda and get it bottled. Like, they're not doing it in their backyard. It was good. It wasn't any better or worse than, like, Stewart's. But I also don't drink soda anymore. Or I try very adamantly to do so.
Same.
I found one of the portals on this planet. Throw a beacon up on it, so we can always come back to it.
Something helpful to do is if you can get an oxygenator on one, so then you can like build a little base and then work on activating it.
Good point.
I think it's ceramic and aluminum for oxygenator. I always forget.
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
Yes, one ceramic, one aluminum. Then you can use the centrifuge to make ceramic from dirt.
Wait, squat. That's how you squat.
Oh, you sack.
Apparently, some people have taken to calling that plumber Squite as as his name.
What was his actual name? Wasn't he credited?
It's like Scum Depardieu or something. Trade platform is pretty useful, Vin. I'll keep that in mind. Quick question. How do you get the compass again?
You hover over your character with the mouse.
That's it? Alright, okay, so it's directly east. Directly east of my base. If Jack could remember that, that would be sweet. Because I won't remember that next time I stream this game. But yeah, east is where the thingy is.
I know a subject that we haven't talked about yet that we usually talk about during these streams.
Lord of the Rings?
No, we've already done that. Is weird, paranormal, supernatural kinds of stuff. And something happened recently, because you've brought up HARP once on stream.
Yeah.
They recently reactivated HARP to transmit a student project, an art project.
Fuck.
And HAARP, HAARP.
Supposedly mind control.
Yeah, it's another one of those things that people are like, what are they really using it for, kind of thing. I'm about to die from lack of oxygen. Okay.
Oh, thank you for reminding me. I need to do that oxygen filters.
So HAARP originally was like a government-run thing where they're just testing the effects of like how radio signals propagate through certain weather patterns.
At least that's what they want you to think, but alright, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So they're like, they're controlling the weather and they're controlling people and, doing all kinds of terrible things. And then eventually, like, funding or something ran out for it. So eventually the University of Anchorage, I think, is the array is in Alaska, I believe. So the university has it. And then it was just sitting dormant for a long time. It's this massive thing that's capable of some really powerful stuff. And then recently this got some like art students and some engineering, and it's got a bunch of people together, and then they brought it back online. They just started broadcasting these like really creepy sounds and images through the air. There's like sounds of different like wolves that were howling in certain harmony with one another. And it's one of these like deep concept heavy things. But just listening to it is creepy. But they're broadcasting SSTV signals, which is an audio way of transmitting an image. So I was listening in real time from something called a SDR, which is the way that you can access a radio antenna from your computer. It's a software-defined radio, and you're receiving SSTV signals, and they were like X-ray scans, like slices of people's brains, like when they do that's like that MRI or whatever, like when it goes through different layers. So they were sending that as an image through the air, as SSTV.
Through the air.
Yes.
But why? I mean, I know it's an art thing, but that's yeah.
Yeah, and that's the people in chat are saying that SSTV is useless. Yeah, it's the thing. I mean, I could talk forever about radio and number stations and just all the weird oddities of radio.
Yeah, I like number stations.
And the thing that always comes up is that there's people who were radio, like amateur radio listening and ham radio and all that was like their hobby as a kid, and they grew up with it, and now they're like in their 60s and 70s, and they generally really hate it when all these young people come in and see it as like a funny like novelty, like SSTV, like all these ARGs, like, oh, we're sending SSTV signals and they're all creepy, whoa. And then there's like, this is an obsolete technology, you should not use it anymore. The proper way to do it is this and that and this. And like I joined a CW enthusiast group, which is continuous wave, which is Morse code conversations. So I listen to real-time Morse code. This is like the nerdiest thing in my life. Real-time Morse code conversations to listen in on what people talk about. People still do it. So I joined this group, and just as a joke, I just typed some like dots and dashes, a little like, hey, hello everyone, thanks for welcoming to the group. And they're like, Morse code is an audio-oriented alphabet. It should never be written out. It's meant to be something you listen to. I was like, oh.
Wow, elitist much?
I know, yeah, like they want their hobby to die with them, it feels like. And they just hate it when all these like little kids are having fun with it in the improper, non-traditional way. Obviously, it's not all of them, but just the really
there's always going to be some.
But there's just so much stuff like that now. And I think ARGs and things like that are really bringing it back. Like that's what got me interested in shortwave radio and all that, is like all the creepy stuff I saw with like the Portal 2 ARG, and then it just like exploded from there, and then I spent a whole weekend just in a Wikipedia rabbit hole reading all kinds of the history, and that's a subject I could talk about forever.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, the hobbies that some people have that carry over from that long ago, like CB radio. I remember my cousin was a little older than me, and him and his dad were truckers for a little while. That was like, they had a company, and they brought. I remember one trip to Wildwood, which is like a 2.5-3 hour drive. Was they brought it, the CB radio, and you could you could hear the fucking other people, the truckers, and we would like, you know, show up and be like, yeah, 9 or 45, big assholes. Just stuff like that, just so people could, you know, react, and we would listen in on conversations and like talk to people. I was a kid, so I don't know what the hell it was going on, but my cousin would say stupid things, and I thought it was the most funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. So, I mean, it's a nice hobby. Some people still do CB.
Oh yes, CB radio in particular is still really popular because it's like a important practical thing, and but the thing with CB is that you don't need a license to use it, whereas like with amateur shortwave radios, right? Which I'm sure a lot of them probably do, like listening on their conversations, but with like shortwave radio, like in order to broadcast in a certain power, you gotta get a license and you get your call sign and you follow these tests, and it's all a very cut and dry thing. The FCC has to approve this and that, but like CB radio, it's just basically like whoever has it can do whatever.
Yeah, it's just whatever.
Yeah, but it also makes it a little more interesting because it's like you're not just gonna get old guys asking what the weather is like and how expensive their equipment is, which is most of like shortwave radio. You'll get some like real juicy stuff where people like, you know, so you know, like, what's your wife been up to? I heard she's been, you know, it's just like all the like typical old man like gross things, but
it's also you just get characters like Large Marge from Pee Wee Herman.
Exactly.
Just weird shit. That's what we liked about it. I mean, again, I don't really do it anymore. Well, obviously I don't, but for my cousin does not have a trucking business anymore, but I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Honestly, I thought that was so fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I was doing the pilot from, I think, Rocko's Modern Life. We've got turbulence. There's like a, you know, where the plane crashes. Like a whole bit.
Captain speaking, and
yeah, this is your captain speaking. We're gonna hit some turbulence, maybe get a little bit of death. And I oh god, I didn't. So I did that, and my family thought it was funny, and I didn't tell them that I got it from a cartoon, and they thought I was funny. And then I kept doing it. And it wasn't funny anymore, and I stopped doing it because no one was laughing anymore.
So you bring it to the internet, where people who haven't heard your jokes before will now think it's funny again.
I mean, that's how you learn. I mean, when you're a kid, you just fucking hit that well until it's dry. It's like me going, spin! Oh, wait a minute. Guess I haven't learned a whole lot, have I?
I think for me it was copying Dana. Was it Dana Schneider? Oh, no, what was his name? From Saturday Night Live.
Dana Carvey. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent.
I did that so much when I was a little kid, and my parents loved it. And then it got to the point where I was sick of it, and they were like, "No, do it some more. Come on, you're so funny when you do that." I'm like, "No."
It's like, have you not watched Saturday Night Live? Because there's a dude doing the exact same bit.
Exactly.
Well, that was the season I grew up with, so I liked those impressions too, and I liked Dana Carvey and Mike Myers and Wayne's World and all that fun stuff. Chris Farley. Someone just said my mom thinks I invented Baba Goose Goodies, but that's not even funny in context. So I can't even imagine, like, what your mom must think. Like, oh no. Like, he's defective. Like, you know, like, Baba Goose Goodies is not, in and of itself, inherently funny. It's just a combination of several memes. It's fucking Ugu, Scoot, and Baba Booey.
It's good to know we have meme thieves in chat, though. Have to keep an eye on them.
I know, we gotta keep a close eye.
One of my favorite, most elusive memes that only, you know, hardcore Vinesaucers will remember. It's not even something you can say out loud. It's just a series of characters. It's left bracket, colon, right bracket. It's a very elusive meme, and it occasionally comes up like once a year, and people are like,
bracket,
"I got you."
colon, right bracket. Dude,
And
I don't even know. I don't even know what that is.
Me neither.
It was really random, and it just made me laugh because it was just so dumb. I don't know if I want to ruin it.
You have
just
to
leave
tell
it a
me what it is
mystery.
now. No, oh, shit. All right, you can tell me afterwards.
Okay. Also, someone else, like RDSK in chat, just did the parenthesis, lesser than, greater than, parenthesis thing. I bet a lot of people don't know the movie that's from. The Back and Forth Forever. Have you heard that before?
Yeah.
Pooping back and forth forever.
Yeah. It's a movie called Me and You and Everyone We Know, or something like that.
That was a movie? I thought that was an internet thing. It was just,
Well,
I don't know if they invented it, but I seem to remember that it started becoming popular once that movie came out.
the pooping back and forth forever.
Yeah, so there was like it's one of these super quirky like indie movies. So it's hard to explain the story, but just it was basically that there was this really little kid, had to be, I don't know, like 9 years old, that was on the internet. It's supposed to be like in the late 90s or whatever, and he's in like an AOL parody chat room. And he's just having this long conversation with some guy who's like making a promise.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then the kid types it out, and he's like, "We can poop back and forth forever." And he just thinks that's how people make friends because he like grew up on the internet.
Well, now that's us. We grew up on the internet. Well, not really. I didn't until I was like 15 or 14. But anyway.
Someone has an AOL emote in chat. I have never seen that before.
I thought the phrase gained popularity because of Cards Against Humanity using. That was my perspective on it.
You thought that what came popular because of it?
The phrase "pooping back and forth forever" because there was a Cards Against Humanity card that had.
Right, I'm willing
never
to
heard
bet.
it before that.
I'm willing to bet Cards Against Humanity took it from the movie. Because the movie was kind of famous because the woman from... I don't remember the name of the show. It was an actress from a TV series that's really popular now, was in it.
But yeah, what I'm saying
remember
is,
her name.
the card referenced the movie, but the origin was the movie. Like, I don't think the origin was anything else.
Well, listen, lads. This has been an interesting stream. Lots of topics discussed. It's quarter
really
to 4.
Quite hypnotic.
Illuminating.
It is. There's a here I am. I built like a path. I built some bridges. I made a tunnel, and I put a beacon at the teleport. And so aside from just building my base, I've also been doing some cool stuff. So yeah, you just really just lose yourself in the game. It's extremely easy to do that, but now it is time. Now it is time.
It's time to put the Daves back in the cryogenic stasis.
For at least a couple weeks, yeah. But, yeah, this is cool. Let me know when you guys are ready and I'll save and quit. Next time I play this chat, I think the goal will be to, dig to the planet's core, get the teleporter, and then move on to another planet. But, maybe at some point one of the Daves will join me here, I don't know. So, you guys ready?
Ready.
Yep, I've just been refining materials most of the time because I can't really leave the planet without blowing up in space. So
okay, gotcha.
So I'm good.
Okay. That was Astroneer. That made for a very chill stream. Thank you, Dave and Dave. This was a good time, and it was good discussing food, harp, and other strange topics with you.
My pleasure.
I will see you next time we do Astroneer. So yeah, I mean, if you want to find their channels, everybody, you can find them in the auto host, or you can just check the Twitch page and you know, the actual page itself, and you'll see the extension. All right. So bye, Daves.
See ya.
See you later.
Later. All right. And now we can art.